Can we chat for a minute? Have you ever felt like there is this part of you that truly wants to grow, that wants to be successful, that wants to tap into abundance, but there is this other side of you that is like pulling you back? Like it's like an invisible force that you're trying so hard to change your life. You're trying so hard to heal, to change, but something is like this invisible force is pulling you back. And you've done it all. You've done inner child healing, therapy, breath work, retreats, all of it. But there is this older version of you that is like with handcuffs and is holding the same pattern, it's holding the same story, the same identity. And the more you try to change, the more you try to heal, the stronger this old version of you becomes. The stronger this reality that you don't want to experience is solid in your physical reality. So today, in this video, I'm going to explain the real reason behind all of that. And the reason I am almost sure no one ever explained to you. And I promise you, if you stay to the end, you are going to understand your mind, your subconscious mind, in a way you never have before. You're gonna finally understand why you're repeating the same patterns, why you're stuck in that reality that you're really trying to change. So let's dive in. First thing that I want you guys to understand is that your subconscious mind doesn't work with time, only with your state of being. Your conscious mind thinks in the past, right? Things that happen in the childhood, things about things that happen, and that's why reality is like this right now. Your conscious mind also thinks in the present and also think about the future, like what's going to happen and trying to predict information and access your future. Your conscious mind thinks about your goals, about your dreams, about your plans, about the how. So many of you guys are stuck in the how. But what is controlling reality is what? The subconscious mind. When we look at the planes of existence, right? The physical plane, the 3D, the 4D, the mental plane, and the 5D, the spiritual plane. What creates reality, the physical plane, is the 4D, the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is the biggest shareholder of the mental plane. But the thing that you must understand about the subconscious mind, because that's what's pretty much creating your entire reality, the lack of money, the toxic relationship, is that your subconscious mind only understands one thing, which is the state you are in right now, in the present moment. So your subconscious mind, it doesn't store like, oh, when I was 7 years old, I was abandoned. When I was 7 years old, I was abused. Your subconscious mind stores what? Abandonment is true now. Abuse is true now. And that's why certain situations make you react as if you were pulled straight back into the past, even though you are an adult and those things happen when you are a child. And that's also why so many people understand consciously and forgive consciously and think they are safe consciously, but they never reprogram the subconscious mind. But what's driving your reality is not your conscious mind, because that's only 5%. Your subconscious mind is what's driving everything. And if you never reprogram that, then all of that shit from your past is pretty much driving your life. And so manifestation is purely and solo about identity. It's not about your conscious wishes. When you say, oh, one day I'm going to have money, one day I'm going to feel safe, one day I'll live the life I want, your subconscious mind is hearing what? I do not have this right now. And because it operates only in the present moment, it keeps you in the loop of waiting, trying, chasing, delaying. And so, oh, yeah, what is the best technique to manifest fast, to quantum leap? It's not a technique, it's your state of being, because reality responds to not about what you want, it responds to the programs that you have in your subconscious mind. It responds to who you are being. That's why in Hebrews 11:1 it says faith is now. Faith is now. It's not tomorrow, it's now. It's your identity in the now. The subconscious mind follows your identity, not your goals. Yes, your conscious mind thinks about all of your goals. Your conscious mind think about I deserve a good relationship, yet you go date after date and it's the same type of guy unavailable. It's the same toxic pattern in the guys that you go out with. It's the same lack of money. I deserve my business is gonna go super well right now. But your subconscious mind is following your identity of I am not good enough. I cannot trust. I don't deserve it. I need to prove myself. And that's your internal GPS. Oops. And that's why Neville Goddard, he said, I love Neville, guys. One of his quotes was, you create from the state of the wish fulfilled. Why is that? Because you don't create from your conscious mind, from your desire. You create from your identity. From your identity. And so, what is fundamental for you to understand is that in the past, okay, there was something, a lot of things that had happened to you. And when you were a child, you already know this. Most of you guys already know this. You were like a blank canvas. And in order to function, to operate in this world, you needed programs, just like phone, right? If you don't download any apps in your phone, you can't do anything with it. So you must download all the apps, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, WhatsApp, whatever phone, calculator for your phone to do something. Same thing as a kid. The kid comes in, no language, no beliefs, nothing, and is exposed to people, to environments, to a culture, to a language. It's given a name, and that forms the identity. And so, when you, especially when you were a child, there were lots of things that happened to you, and you gave a meaning to those things. For example, if you got ignored as a child, you most likely conclude that my needs don't matter. If your house was chaotic and you were always stepping on eggshells, you always had to feel the environment to see if were fights going on, you become a highly like sensitive person. Not sensitive in a sense of like being too sensitive, but like picking up on stuff, right? Always forecasting, like always having this sixth sense of how other people were feeling. So the subconscious mind doesn't save what happened. Oh, this happened years ago. It saves my needs don't matter right now. It saves every man abandons me. It saves I'm not worthy of money. I cannot have money right now. And suddenly or not, everything in your life, it becomes proof of your beliefs, because remember, your beliefs are self-fulfilling prophecies. And that is why affirmations don't work alone, because you can repeat, I am healthy, I am loved, I am abundant. But if your internal state is like, oh, I'm small, I'm not enough, I have to protect myself, your subconscious mind goes like, no, that's not true. And it discards it, because it does not follow your language, it follows your state. Now, how does those rules are formed in the subconscious mind? The rules in your subconscious mind, your beliefs, they are formed when, number one, you have a strong emotional moment like fear, shame, rejection, abandon, pressure. Two, when you have a fast meaning interpretation to that event. This is not logical with your logical mind, is survival based. Like, I'm not enough. I need to self sabotage myself first in a relationship in order to not get hurt again. I need to be in control. That's why I cheat, for example. That's why I all of a sudden I lose interest. What is the interpretation that you have in your subconscious mind in regards to money, in regards to love, and whatever emotion and interpretation you have going on, your body is stored that rule in the present moment as a present truth, not as a memory from the past, but something that is happening in the now. And so it's the same concept as, imagine this is the stove, the oven, and I put my hand in it and I'm a little kid. And as I put my hand in it, it burns and I feel a lot of pain. And I feel the pain and I give a fast interpretation that this is dangerous. Don't do that. And your body automatically, if you put your hand in a stove, even though it's not hot, but you might think it's hot, you're gonna automatically like, ooh, is it hot? It's in your body. The same happens to relationships. And I have the other video here in this channel about the reticular activated system, which is nothing but more about the algorithm of real life. And whatever beliefs we have, the algorithm of real life is going to make sure it scans reality and presents us with the people and circumstances that are going to validate our beliefs, our rules, our unconscious rules. And so, how do we find these rules that are in the subconscious mind? We don't necessarily need to dig for memories from the past. We just need to look at the pattern, because life, it's all of the time is presenting us with situations that just are a reflection of our beliefs, our internal, oh my goodness, my English, our internal state, as within so without. You don't try to change the mirror. The mirror is already reflecting what's being presented. So if you're experiencing right now lack, what's in me is generating that. But what most people get it wrong is that you try to reprogram like macro beliefs that have nothing to do with what's really in your subconscious mind. I'm going to give you one example. One of my clients, she in the past, she was a manager, she was making so much money, she had so much abundance of money, financial abundance, and she had her own car, her own condo, so much money, and all of a sudden that dried up, and she was trying to reprogram those macro things, and she's like, I'm so stuck in life. The rule was something different. She was going through problems in her relationship, and so every problem is a solution. Why did she need that lack, that like her abundance all of a sudden, like whoop, it dried up? Why did she needed that? That's what you gotta look at. There were like unconscious rules going on with her relationship that made her block the money, because it was better for her to block the money than to have the money. Yeah, how come? There's so many different things that can be going on. Like if you receive the money, then all of a sudden you don't need to receive the money from your ex, and you're still like, punishing him. I don't know. There's so many things that we don't even consciously think about, but there are g- controlling, generating our reality. And so, what do we do to change? What do we do to change? The first thing that we need to do to change our reality and to really manifest the reality that we want is to find the rule. Because once we find the rule already loses its power. It's like we are finding the code that is running the entire system. After you find the rule, then you need to enter the right state, internal state. And because your body, right, you cannot change the rule if you are tense or shut down. You change the rule when your body is open and receptive to change. And this is exactly what I guide my students inside my academy, to reprogram your identity and your mind. It's not this BS that you see out there just to use affirmations, repetition, or just like write on a paper type of thing. It is a solid method inspired in memory reconciliation, which is a study from neuroscience that proves that your mind is malleable, in a sense that your mind cannot hold two contradictory truths at the same time. So once you find the rule that you've been holding on to, then if you know how to expose your mind to a different belief that is contradictory to the current belief that you have in your mind, you're able to break that belief instantly. And then, of course, reality, the physical reality, still hasn't changed, right? Because it has a certain delay. There is this gestational period where things take a little bit of time, right? The mental plane, everything happens, shifts so fast. You can think about you're here now in Hawaii, or you can think now you're in Thailand. I don't know. But things are very fast in the mental plane. But in the physical reality, as a safety mechanism, things are not as fast. And so, till things start to materialize in your physical reality, you need to respond differently to reality, because life is presenting you every single moment 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 with situations and opportunities for you to respond differently. And once you respond differently, you are already attaching yourself to a new identity. You have to practice this new state. Your old identity will do everything it can to not die. Think about your current identity is like the main actress, the main actor of the movie. It doesn't want to die. It will do everything to make you act and think and behave the same way. And so you have to be aware of this game, understand the game. So when situations happen, so when people trigger you, you don't fall for the trap and respond in the same identity. You choose to embody a different identity and have a different reaction, a different choice, a different feeling. Your subconscious mind does not follow your words, does not follow your conscious thoughts. It follows your internal experience. And your life will change when the rule changes. When you update those unconscious, subconscious codes, everything in your life must change. Your relationships, your money, everything in your reality must change. That's why what is the most powerful thing to manifest? To quantum leap? Identity. When you know how to shift identity, when you become a new persona, of course, the fastest way is you remembering your consciousness that you are already it. You don't need to become anything. You are already everything. But to make it more like the metaphor, right? To make it easier to digest and understand and put in practical ways, you need to become that new persona and understand that your past is not stored in a box. Your past is in the now. All the rules that were created in the past, they are happening in the now. And that's why your life is not changing, because you're still seeing life through the old lenses, subconsciously, not consciously, of course. So change the rules, your life will change. People will change, opportunities will show up out of the blue. Money, you're gonna unlock abundance, because in reality, you just blocked abundance. Abundance is always available. It's your birthright. And so if at any moment during this video you thought, wow, this explains my whole life and I need to become the programmer right now, I'll leave in the description below the link to join my program, Roy. And it's nothing like you've seen before, and I can guarantee it's nothing like you've seen before. And if you apply everything that I'm showing you guys there, your reality must change. That's why I even have a 7-day policy. You can go through the entire course, copy the entire thing, and ask for a refund if you think that that's not useful information, that's not something new, that it will actually help you to shift your reality. Trust me, quantum shifts, quantum leap happens when you shift your state of being. If you can sustain a new state of being, if you can sustain a new identity, your reality must match. And if you want me to guide you through this process step by step with the deepest, most developed method I have ever seen out there, and I'm not just saying because I am the one who created, but really, I've bought in the past so many courses, every single course you can possibly imagine, every single book you can possibly imagine, and a lot of things will not make sense. Like this whole BS of you need to raise your vibration, and nobody actually explains to you how to raise your vibration. And really, if it was really about raising the vibration to manifest money, how do you explain all like this grumpy people at the top, like angry? I don't want to say names here, but billionaires. You know what I'm saying? You just need to think about if this was a rule, it should be applied to every single person, but it's not the case. And so I cracked the code because like I need to understand this, because my biggest manifestations didn't happen when I was feeling happy and grateful and abundant. Of course, those states help you to magnetize faster, but it's not necessary. So if you want this step by step, this viral formula that helped so many of my clients to really understand this process of reality and quantum leap, then I'll leave the description below and I'll see you at Roy.